today we're going to be reviewing my actual secondary, which is known as the KJW KP06. Alright, to start off, the gun comes in this nice looking box. It actually protects it from getting shipped and all that. Actually says P-Force right there. I'll get into details why I believe it says P-Force. But first, when you open it up, there's a small, very small catalog just with the KC02 and the KP08. Pretty good guns. Right here we got a KJW catalog. There's actually kind of a thick catalog, really. You guys should really look through it. Pretty good. And now for the KP06 manual. The manual is actually pretty helpful for you that like to disassemble your gun. Gives you a parts breakdown, parts number, everything. You know, how to load, safety, hop-up adjustment, and a cartoon of what not to do and what to do. Alright, so this is where I believe it says P-Force. Now, I'm not totally sure, I don't guarantee you, but these are actually .20 gram BBs. They're probably the P-Force ones. I'm not so sure. I still wouldn't recommend using these. Right here, small Allen key. This is actually to adjust sights and to take off small parts from the gun. Alright. Now, the gun includes a 30+1 hi-cap mag. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with hi-cap or any high-capacity magazines, the KJW is actually known for taking the Wii hi-cap mags. Now, there's actually a difference. I'm not sure if you can see it, but one is slightly darker than the other. The other one is also once pricier than the other. But you can see that there's actually quality in the difference. And also, this gun takes the Wii 51 round extended mag, which it was a mistake for me buying, but I'm not going to get into detail. Finally, you have the gun. This is actually a pretty big gun, I'm not going to lie. It's like almost, they say it's almost the same size as the KWA MK23, which is basically the USP. But I haven't been able to compare both of them. But yeah, it's a pretty big gun. It will not fit in the 1911 Serpa holster, just a heads up. The only holster that I've been able to find for this, actually Condor Tornado holster, which I wear right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but yeah, this is the one I wear. I had to make a few adjustments so it can fit. And it got a very long rail right here to right here. It's actually that long. You can actually mount the grip M203 if you like to. Grip will actually look really, really weird, but you know, it's up to you guys. The gun came with an orange tip, but I scraped it off. I didn't like it there. And the sights are fiber optic. They actually help out when you're playing indoors and outdoors. Like, since I play mostly indoors, there is some lighting, and it actually helps you when you're acquiring your target really fast. So I'm gonna show you really quick how it looks like with the 51 round. Pretty it's kind of hefty. And something dropped. It actually beat. Here's with the Wii. Nothing. Now, they actually make two versions of this gun. They make the green gas version and a CO2 version. If you guys aren't familiar with that, if you live in a warmer environment, let's say California, Florida, New Mexico, around there, it actually gets kind of warm. So it's not really affected with the green gas. But if you live somewhere like Chicago, New York, or around like Canada perhaps, you have to use CO2 because it won't be as affected during the weather. And most guns aren't cross-compatible with CO2 and green gas, and that is because KJW actually included a red nozzle. I don't know if you guys can see that there. We have a red nozzle, and that is able so it can be cross-compatible with CO2 and green gas. So, since we're talking in the method of green gas and CO2, I might as well explain the FPS. With FPS around 330 to 325 around there, on green gas, and that's around 80 degrees normal temperature around here in California. That is actually pretty good. You can take this into a CQB indoor game, no problem, and still get that extra distance thanks to the extra long barrel. And if you still want to use CO2 here in California, it bumps up the FPS to around 350, 340 around there, which is still great because you can use this at a CQB indoor because most limits are around 350. But I'll be using green gas for this. Now, also, this includes a mag well. If this mag well is around like $30, $40 around there, but since this gun is included, this actually makes it easier to reload, for example, in a night game, because it makes you have nice grip of where your mag is going. Also, when gripping this gun, it actually feels very nice. The grip is very good. It's like a bit texturized around here, so it gets a nice feeling. Also, the trigger, you can see it's a split in two, which just gives it a little cool design, in my opinion. And like almost every 1911 in the market, even though there's a hi-capa, they all say .45 ACP right here on the outer barrel of it, which is, you know, a little bit more realistic to the gun, and also has the, you know, the simple 1911 safety like that, so you won't be able to rack the slide. Also, it features the back safety, but you know, most KJWs somehow break this tailback safety, but the regular 1911 safety actually still keeps working. So even though it could be that bad, it might be a little bit of your opinion, doesn't really matter. And like all 1911s, the disassembly for this gun is just exactly the same. You take the pin on the right side, put that aside, and the gun comes apart in two. Now you can see that the lower receiver is actually pretty long, so we'll keep that aside. Pop-up adjustments on your right side, right there. This is like sort of the kind of very good hop-up. This is one of the best hop-ups I've seen on a gas blowback. I recommend this one personally, even though I already had a Wii, and Wii's are better. Now the BB comes out for some reason. It must be on the table. That easy to put back together. So now we're going to be doing a small shooting test. A couple BBs in there, and be using Falcon green gas. Alright, so we got the targets right here. There was actually one that went and fly by and actually hit the fence behind it. Then would just be, you know, stray or something. But this is with the hop-up not adjusted, using 0.25 gram BBs, Elite 4s, and green gas. You can also use propane in this. But this is actually pretty accurate considering the fact to other most gas blowbacks. I would actually recommend using this gun for only a price of $135. Not bad. The only downside to it is the holster and that beaver tail safety kind of like breaks after a while. And pretty much the pros of it is the accuracy, the FPS, and you know, pretty intimidating, pretty long. So this has been the review of the KP06.